There's not a lot you can do about the tariffs, but there is a lot you can do to make smarter decisions. And we're here to help you with that. My name is Kevin Sanderson from My Amazon Guy. And one of the challenges that a lot of sellers are facing right now is tariffs are coming, especially if you're importing from China. Do you look into other countries? How does that affect pricing? It creates a lot of uncertainty, but the best thing you can do right now is to give yourself clarity on what your situation is so that you can make those smarter decisions. So let me go ahead and show you this tariff calculator we've put together for you, which will help you figure out not just what the tariffs are going to cost you, but also come up with some scenarios as far as pricing, how quickly you raise pricing, and all that. So let's go ahead and get into it. So this is our tariff price calculator. So if you come down here, you've got a few different ways you can do this. You can have multiple products. You can do this multiple products here. You can download a CSV if you like doing things like bulk templates, things of that nature. So for now, just to keep this simple, I'm just going to show you based on doing one, and then it's going to show you recommended pricing so you can either keep a desired margin or potentially look into other countries. So lots of ways you could play around with this. What's really cool here is you can put in what your current manufacturing cost is. So let's say for fun, it's $8. And let's say your current price is $29.99. What's happening here is we're going to put in a few other, don't look at this number here until we put in our other numbers, but we're going to put in our Amazon fees is 15%. Let's say our shipping costs. So that might be either your FBA fee, basically whatever your cost is to get it to the customer. And so let's just say your FBA fee is $5.50. Maybe your cost for FBM for shipping to the customer maybe is around that or a little higher. Just put in whatever that number is. But let's say it's $5.50. Now, some people might be saying, yeah, but there's other fees involved, inventory fees, whatever. So let's just say for fun, there's an extra 60 cents. So maybe we put in $6.10. So adding on the 60 cents to my hypothetical FBA fee of $5.50. Defaults to a base duty rate of 2%. We'll just leave that there. If you're unsure, you can always, we've got a link here, which will take you to the HTS codes. Section 301 tariffs. If you're not sure about that, leave it blank. It's a other tariff from like a old law in place. You'd probably already know about it if it affected your products. All right. So then you want to put in whatever your net margin is. So this is saying if you're okay with a zero net margin, you would just have a recommended net new price of this. But let's say you want to keep a $6 net margin. So you would need to, based on your $8 manufacturing cost, your 15% Amazon fees, commission fees, that is, and then your shipping costs, let's just say FBA fee plus, getting it to Amazon, inventory, storage fees, all that fun stuff. Let's say it's about $6.10 per unit. So then this calculator is telling you your recommended new price is $37.76. You might be saying, well, that's not that bad. What if I had a higher desired net margin? And this is net margins. Think of it as like your desired net margin. So you can play with that. So, okay, what if I'm okay with only having $5 per unit while we figure this whole thing out? So let's say $36.58. Then you might be saying to yourself, okay, now if I figure that out, but what about PPC costs? So let's figure out what your tacos would be. So account-wide ACoS. So let's just say you have a 15% ACoS. Now you got to think about like raising your price a little bit more. So you maybe need to raise it to $45-ish. Now you might be saying to yourself, well, gosh, it's a lot to figure out. Well, maybe you no longer want to sell in China. Maybe you want to go to Thailand and you can look up the tariff rate. And this is what it is currently slated as. Now, it might be in some of these countries going up higher amounts, maybe later in the summer. You can always add a little bit extra. Let's say it's going to go to 40%. I'm just making this up as hypothetical. You can play with these numbers. That's going to give you more basis to figure out what the tariffs would be. So you can see China is an expensive country to import from. Now, some people might be saying, but yeah, China is my best option currently as far as to at least find something. And that's fine. We all know that that's the case for a lot of us. Now, whether or not changes are made down the road to the tariffs, we don't know. All we know is we can play the hand that we got. Let's just say you are going to stick in China. And again, you can play around with other countries and just see what the scenario might be. So the current 145% tariff rate, probably want to get rid of that section 301. So let's say $45. So I'd be going from $30 to almost $45. So is the market going to bear that? Do I want to do that all at once? So what you could do is say, okay, so for this product, what would I increase at? If I was to increase at 6% a week, and maybe I want to increase that to let's say 7%. We recommend you don't go too much higher than that. So one, you don't risk losing the buy box. But let's just say you say, I'll increase 5% a week until I get to that price. So we recommend staying within 5 to 7%. So that would be a 9-week implementation plan. So this actually gives you week by week what dollar amount to increase and what that price would be to get to the final price of which would allow you to at least keep those margins. So this at least gives you a plan. Is I have learned oftentimes it's best when you're trying to figure out a situation is don't get caught up in the details of like, okay, this is what's going to cost me for the tariffs. Okay, well, what does that look like as far as how I can at least stay profitable? Or if I'm okay with 0 profit and just breaking even, what does that look like? If I worked really hard to maybe get my ACoS down a little bit, you can play with all those numbers in this calculator so that you have more empowered decisions that you're able to make. This is going to benefit you in the long run. So hope this was helpful. Play around with this calculator, and it's going to help you make more informed decisions on your business. Again, my name is Kevin from My Amazon Guy, and let us know how this helped you.
Selling on Amazon doesn't have to be complicated, and we're here to make it easy for you. Just scan the QR or click the link in chat.